What's up, guys? Welcome to Touchdown Talk, where everything and anything football goes. I'm your host, Jason, and today we have another episode 2 of NFL news in 10 minutes or less. So let's get right into it. Last episode, we left off with Monday afternoon, so we're going to pick off with Monday night and then dive right into Tuesday. So a bit of news that we had after our first episode was that Ryan Fitzpatrick is joining the Thursday Night Football crew and will team up with Tony Gonzalez and Richard Sherman for pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage. So looks like Thursday Night Football is getting into the game. Now there were reports about Kay Adams from Good Morning Football and then Pat McAfee from the Pat McAfee Show on YouTube. So looks like Thursday Night Football on Amazon is really getting these main guys that have played in the NFL, have the knowledge, like Richard Sherman, who's a great corner, Tony Gonzalez, who's one of the greatest tight ends of all time, and now Ryan Fitzpatrick, who just came out of retirement. So Thursday Night Football making moves to get the best coverage they can for their viewers. Now moving on to Tuesday, we finally got a huge update on the Deshaun Watson case. Now, Deshaun Watson settled 20 of 24 cases against him with a woman alleged he committed sexual misconduct, his lawyer Tony Busby says in a statement noting the terms will remain confidential. So after a huge offseason of Deshaun Watson, case after case, it was 14, 16, 20, now 24, and there still might be more to come. Who knows what's going on? Now, 20 have been settled. There are still 4 women who are holding out, one of which being the main woman who started the entire investigation of Deshaun Watson, the woman who first alleged that Watson had enforced sexual misconduct upon her. So, Deshaun Watson, finally, there's some news coming out. He settled 20 of 24 cases. We still don't know what is going to happen with the other 4 women, what's going to happen if more women come forward and speak upon it, or what's going to happen with his suspension, if he's suspended in the NFL, and how many games he could get. Most likely it's going to be at least a year, I would say, just because of how much is going on and what the NFL needs to do to actually solve this and see where all the information is coming from and get all the information they can. So I'm going to say that Deshaun Watson does not step foot on the field for the Cleveland Browns this season, maybe not even next season. But with more information now coming out, it's going to be hard to decide what the NFL is going to do. Ultimately, it's their decision, and they're just going to try to get all the news they can so they make a justifiable call on Deshaun Watson. Now, moving on to another player in the NFL, and that is Ndamukong Suh. Now, Suh tweeted that the Raiders could be fun, and this was coming on a retweet of Adam Schefter's tweet that Ndamukong Suh was on ESPN2's NFL Live, where he said that in the future it looks like the Bucs are out of the picture, but he would still want to play in the NFL. So Suh still wants to play, but not for the Bucs. So him tweeting Raiders could be fun, maybe adding to that Raiders team, especially with the offseason they had, bringing in Devontae Adams. So maybe Suh says the Raiders are looking good right now. Why don't I go join them and see if I can win a Super Bowl with them? So we'll see what Ndamukong Suh does, but the Raiders are obviously a team to look for, especially with Suh tweeting out the Raiders could be fun. Now next up we had a bit of sad news. Chicago Bears placed Dakota Dozier on the injured reserve. He suffered a season-ending leg injury last week after being carted off the field. So right before training camp, doesn't even make it through the offseason. He won't be on the field for the Chicago Bears, and that's really going to hurt them because he's a big part of the team. They're already struggling at the offensive line position, so especially with having to protect Justin Fields, this is going to come at a huge hit for that Chicago Bears team. Now, next up, Larry Ogunjobi visited the Pittsburgh Steelers, this per Adam Schefter, and then later on in the day, news came out that he did sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So a great signing for the Steelers, a great move for them, and a great landing spot for Larry Ogunjobi, getting to play next to guys like Cam Hayward and TJ Watt on that defense. Going to be scary to watch that defense add another key player to help them out. And next, we had the breaking news one of the biggest news breaks, and for the second time, Rob Gronkowski has retired from the NFL. It looks like this time might be official, but we don't know because he could just come out and play with Brady again. But Jordan Schultz was the first to report this. He said that Gronkowski told him he is retiring. Now, Gronk is a 4-time Super Bowl winner. He's part of the NFL's 100th anniversary team and the 2010 All-Decade team. Gronk, one of the greatest tight ends to ever lace up his cleats, to ever play in the NFL. Part of one of the best tandems ever between him and Tom Brady, up there with guys like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. So, all the accomplishments that he's done with Brady, all the accomplishments he made in the NFL, at the age of 33, he is retiring for the second time. Next, we had news with Tom Brady, sticking with him, saying that he never considered joining another team other than the Tampa Bay Bucks when he came out of his short retirement. Now, this per the Associated Press. So Tom Brady said there was no doubt in his mind that he would go back to the Bucks if he did come out of retirement, that there would be no other team that he would play for. So good news for the Bucks. Obviously, this kind of shuts down those Miami rumors that maybe Brady was going to go be a part owner for the Dolphins, play for the Dolphins, and then the Dolphins were going to get Sean Payton. So this kind of shuts down those rumors, but it's still time for Brady to come out of retirement. Maybe he can convince Gronk to come out of retirement for the second time, but Brady came out of retirement, only wanted to play for the Bucks, and that is where he did return to the Tampa Bay Bucks for this upcoming season. Then late in the day on Tuesday, we had more news on the Dan Snyder situation. Now, a woman accused Dan Snyder of sexually harassing and assaulting her on a team plane in 2009, and the woman was later paid $1.6 million by the team to settle her claim. Now, this according to a document obtained by the Washington Post. So, more news, obviously, on Dan Snyder, one of the biggest stories next to Deshaun Watson. Both of them kind of dealing with the same situation, both very serious accusations, very serious issues in the world, and both of these men, obviously, if they are convicted and if these things are true, it's just very, very terrible to see this happen, and very, disrespectful for them to do what they've done if it does come out that they did what they were accused of doing. And then the last bit of news that we had on Tuesday was that Jalen Ramsey had shoulder surgery, and this reported by Ian Rappaport. Now, he should be ready for the start of the season. He had a tear in both of his shoulders, and he got surgery. And then the picture came out where he posted of him and his daughters. So, obviously, big news for Ramsey and the Rams, but all in all, should be back on the field for the upcoming season. That is going to be it for this episode 2 of NFL News in under 10 minutes. If you guys did enjoy this, drop a like, go check out episode 1 if you didn't watch it. I will link that in the description so you guys can go check out episode 1 if you didn't watch it. And episode 3 will also be coming out later tonight in the same night on Wednesday.